Welcome to Discover Ramona, where we explore the people, places, and businesses that make it the best place to live. I'm your host, Valerie, and I'm here with my co-host, Jan Ryan. Hi, Jan.
Hi, Valerie.
Jan.
Yes.
I want to know, you got to give me the scoop of what you do as an agent for listings.
That's a really good question. I don't just list a house, I produce a house.
Ooh.
I don't use a photographer. I use a media team.
Wow.
Yeah, every house deserves to be showcased. So that's why I get thousands of views and my listings get on Cox and Spectrum TV.
Oh, that's right. All right, Jan. So who did you bring for us today?
Today I brought Josh Lawson. He's the owner of San Diego Pools and also a comedian. He not only makes people laugh, he makes people want to stay in their house.
He sounds familiar. Let's meet him.
Let's meet him.
Welcome to the show, Josh. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Thank you so much.
Introducing us to him.
So glad to have him here.
Yeah, well, in fact, I mean, goes back to how just small towns and you kind of know everybody that we've already met in the past. And so you run SD Pools.
Yeah. No, I've been here since 1997.
Wow.
Started off cleaning the pools and then moved into construction and then into design and sales. Then into general management, and then we hit the worldwide recession in '08, where I went back into digging ditches and pulling an electric wire, and now I'm one of the owners and president and CEO of the company.
Awesome. And do you feel, going back to like thinking about recession, my instant thought was the opposite of recession is when we had COVID and people were staying home, and I'm sure, did business just boom then?
It doubled. It was a nightmare, right? So it's because you don't know the things you don't know until you get into it, and so we went from about 100 or so pools a year to about 220 pools a year, and to scale that quickly with a workforce that really didn't want to be out there, to a customer base that wanted, because of Amazon Prime, they wanted it tomorrow, and how come it's not here? And so there was a very steep learning curve, but the greatest thing that we got out of all of that is as you look through all of our reviews, positive and negative, right? Because you can't please everybody. You'll never see San Diego Pools didn't finish. You'll never see they stopped calling. You never see, right? You never see any of that. We finish everything. We did it without saying, hey guys, COVID, all the prices are going up. We absorbed a lot of that, negotiated a lot of that, and ultimately honored every single contract that we signed.
I love that. That's like my favorite thing you've said.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love how Josh integrated himself into Ramona lifestyle, because I called you on the phone. He goes, I'm on the tractor. So I'll be there a little bit.
Yeah, so we moved up in 21. So after COVID, right, a little bit of boom in business means a little bit of boom in income, right? And so now I can move from Lakeside up to Ramona. We got 4 acres there where we get to find out what we're bad at in Ramona, right? So we can, you try and grow a crop, all nature destroys it. You raise some animals, and everything that's out there in the wild's trying to take that. And so it's just a constant battle and a fight, but it's so fun. We love it so much. And the people, when we moved up to Ramona, there was this absolute like small town feel that I thought was only available on Hallmark. To where it was, and it was never more apparent than when they did the Christmas tree lighting a few years ago, and when we were sitting there, my wife and I, with a group of people earlier that day, and I go, man, wouldn't it be great though, like if as soon as the tree lit, like it started to snow, and she just put her hand on my arm and said, I need you to know. Like, just for your heart, sweetie, I need you to know it's not going to snow. I'm like, yeah, but could you imagine if it did? And then we're out there and they did the countdown. All of a sudden, snow machines start bursting. I just start screaming out, always leave room for miracles. This is Ramona. It was so silly and so Hallmarky, and I loved it. And that's just, man, the feel you get being in Ramona. You can't, go to, hardware store without getting someone's life story on the checkout. You know what I mean? So we love Ramona.
I think you nailed it.
Did you want to move up to Ramona for the sake of like maybe a slower paced life and get down to like what matters, kind of like?
So between my wife and I, we've got a large family. We've got 6 kids between the two of us, and they're all kind of on the out, right? We got a couple stragglers, but then like we're like, yay, empty nest. And so But we just thought, man, what a cool place. We found 4 acres that's primarily flat. So everybody could kind of have space, and we've got room to entertain and have people over to the house, and the kids have got room to explore and do their stuff. And now it's great for grandkids that are coming back. And that's really what we wanted. Is we just wanted a little more elbow room. We didn't want to hear the neighbors having an argument. And thankfully, the last 4 years we haven't. So it's perfect.
And I have so much respect for you. I can't imagine going up in front of a crowd and doing comedy. I think that's so awesome. And I've seen you. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you. Comedy is something. It's I only know how to be me, right? And so what you're getting right here is what I do on stage. And if you try to be anything other than who you are, that's when the nerves kick in, because now I'm portraying something I'm not.
Right.
And boy, what if they see through that and see the real me?
Yeah.
But if you're just the real you, for me, I just tell stories. I'm not doing these quick little ups. I'm just a long form storyteller, and I just tell people about my real life and struggles in relationships and parenthood and keeping animals alive and traveling around the world. I mean, so it's fun to just tell stories to people that want to disengage from real life for a little while, and just give them an opportunity to just laugh. Because if you can laugh, then you can kind of forget everything else that's going on.
How'd you figure out you were funny?
I was real chubby growing up, and so like just making silly comments in school. All of a sudden, I would start, as an adolescent, right? You're 6th grade, 7th grade. We're all competing for girls' attention, and these guys super strong, super fast. I'm not that. I make one kind of offhanded joke because I was kind of mad about something. And everybody looks at me and laugh. I go, oh, wait a second. All right.
Yeah.
And so that just started it, and kind of all the way through middle school, then all the way through high school. And then it kind of died because now I'm an adult and it's time to go to work.
Serious. Yeah.
And then through some just kind of, life happens and family tragedies, this and that. You kind of find yourself really it was towards the tail end of the recession where, like trying to find purpose, trying to find something to do to take your mind off monotony of whatever.
Yeah. How much this sucks,
Right. Yeah. And so I just I just went up on stage at a bar like in North Park one day, and I was reading from my yellow paper, and they announced, hey, this is Josh's first time on stage, and I got up there and I read that, and everybody laughed and applauded and high-fived me on the way out. I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to be in movies now because look how rad I am, right?
Sure.
And then I went up there the next week, and I read through the whole thing and was looking out in the crowd, and none of them were looking at me, and none of them were laughing, and my face was turning red. I mean, I'm reliving some of those feelings right now. It's like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? And on the very quiet car ride home with myself, I realized it wasn't their job to stop doing what they're doing. It was my job to be so engaging that they couldn't help but stop and listen. And that I wasn't the gift for them. Like, they were the gift for me. I love making people laugh. I love engaging with people. And so them being there, giving me their attention and time was actually a gift for me to be able to then, that's my outlet.
Yeah.
So smart. I love the insight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how do you blend the world of pools with comedy, like when you're working?
Not really, right? So as president, right, people expect for, especially when you're interacting with homeowners, right? If we're in the design phase and dream building phase, yeah, we're having fun out there because we're dream building. But during construction, and if we're in a conflict resolution point, then I'm very serious and very matter of fact. So it's a very serious business that we have fun doing.
Yeah, I love that.
I think sometimes comedy can alleviate a tense situation too.
It can. My wife says that I do that too much, and it's not always appropriate in every tense situation. That sometimes tense situations are allowed to be tense, and that you don't need to make a weird sound just to break it up.
Guys, yeah. What is your ideal client when it comes to pools?
So it's so interesting, right? Because we build from simple pools, which are in the like the low 50,000s, probably after you're kind of doing stuff, a regular pool only, and that pool ends up being something for a family who's like, sometimes it's like, hey, this is all we can do. Like we've been saving. This is a dream come true to get this in our backyard. Other people, like these smaller ones, it's all the space they have, and that's okay. And then there's other people that I put a swimming pool in a lake up in Alpine, and I put a stainless steel pool on the 7th floor of a hotel off of Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles.
Fun.
Yeah, I mean, so we do those things, but I think really, right, these more expensive ones, they're exciting and they're neat and they're interesting, but being part of somebody's dream coming true for their family, right?
Yeah.
Seeing the pride in the parents as they go, man, we're doing this for our kids. And it doesn't matter how big it is or how expensive it is. If they get it in the backyard, I got a text from a guy we just finished the pool, and it was a screenshot that his wife had sent him and said, we got home from practice or whatever, and the kids have been in the pool for the last 4 hours. They haven't played like this together for like the last 8 years.
Especially now, because all us parents want our kids to get outside.
Get off the screens.
It's like almost like a punishment now. It's like, go outside,
Right.
Yeah,
go outside and swim in your pool, right?
No. It's like a dreadful childhood. But
Yes.
I think that's part of it. It's like we want them out there. So seeing that part of our youth come back alive in our own kids is like very fulfilling.
And the value, when you show a house with a beautiful pool and backyard, it makes all the difference.
Oh yeah,
that's where you get
for
multiple
a family
offers.
looking for a pool.
Yeah.
Like we have to have a pool. It's a must have. When you have a really nice one, it's definitely.
Yeah, and when people are like when we do the midnight Zillows throughout the world, right? I mean, people are doing that for California also, and it's always San Diego with a pool. They're looking for a pool, and so some people are so afraid of resale. Like, yeah, but you don't get the value out of the pool. Stop thinking about that, because what they're comparing that to is this is how much I paid for the pool, and this is how much the county has assessed. So that doesn't mean you're not getting that money. That means they're only charging you taxes on this lesser amount. You want them to charge you on the full amount? They'll do it.
Yeah.
So they charge you on this lesser amount, but really, people get all their money back plus some in a seller's market. When you go to sell, if it's a seller's market, you get your asking price because the backyard's done.
Yeah.
Right? And if you don't have a pool, then people are like, okay, well, we can buy this, but we're going to have to do a pool. And then they start looking around at all the other stuff they've got to do. And so,
That's my primary photo, a beautiful pool shot every time.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So we talked about your cohort for pools. What's your cohort for comedy? When you like doing small groups? Do you like a big group when you stand up comedy? Do you like?
So it doesn't matter to me. So it's there's this weird thing in my head that it just has to be more than like 14 people. If there's more than 14 people, that will have a good time.
14, not 13.
Interesting.
Not 15.
I remember having a bad experience very early on, and it was like 13 people. And so in my mind, it's like, okay, it was
14.
them. It's their fault. It wasn't that I was a new comic and had
one
horrible
person.
jokes, right? One more and we're good. But so I perform, for small shows that are 25 to 50, and I do some church shows that are almost 1,000 people, right?
Cool.
And so it's in those bigger rooms. You can feel the laughter travel from one side of the room to the other, and you can feel it kind of build here and then travel there. It's just a weird sensation to feel like sound move. In the smaller shows, it's more intimate, and you can see kind of the eyeballs and the leaning in of everybody that's there, and so it's a fun event as well.
You like them both.
Yeah.
Oh, so interesting, all the insights.
How does somebody contact you if they're looking into maybe adding a pool?
So adding a pool, it's just sandiegopools.com.
Okay.
Right? Just
Easy.
go on to
Easy.
contact us. Yeah. You can see all of our stuff there. We got an amazing website team, and they take care of keeping those pictures up to date. Our Instagram, San Diego Pools, Facebook, stuff like that. It's all out there. Check us on the Yelp and Google, all those things as well.
And what about your comedy shows? Where can we see you next?
So next would be... All right, I did a long pause there because they can cut this. So when is this probably being posted?
Oh, good question. It's going to be a couple weeks, Mark, I think. It'll be posted.
Let's just say like whenever your next month is.
So March,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
late
Good
February, right?
question.
Okay, yeah. So, You can find me performing next. It'll be up in Vista. There's a lady named Susie who's filming a special, and I'm going to open up for her to kind of get the crowd going for her. And then I'll be at Pachanga Casino regularly coming up through the next months. And my Instagram is Josh J Lawson.
Okay.
So you can find out there, and I generally post the dates there.
All right, great.
Great.
Love it. Well, so good to see you again.
Awesome. Good to see you.
Make sure we
Thanks
stay
for
in touch.
coming.
Thanks for sharing your story, and we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Thanks
Thanks,
guys,
Josh.
for watching Discover Ramona. We will see you next time.